If your husband went missing, on normal occasion you'd be worried, try to look for him, report him, and hopefully pray that he comes back or you find him in one piece. But in some cases, that is not always the reality of things. Because in this story, when the husband goes missing, instead of panicking, you feel relieved. But not because you've stopped loving him, but because he crossed a lane. He made you relieve a trauma you had buried so deep, you're almost convinced it never happened. A trauma that no one in your area or in your current life knows about. Lila has the kind of life people envy. She's beautiful, beautiful home, successful husband, a good career, picture perfect marriage. But that image, it is a lie. Aron is not just about husband. He's the kind of man who hides things, dark things. The kind of things Lila recognizes immediately because she'd seen it before. When Lila was younger, she went through something that shaped how she sees the world, something traumatic, something that would leave a scar on you forever. Something so traumatic that she had to change her name not to be associated with that thing again. And during that time, she made herself one promise that she would never let that kind of harm happen to anyone again. So when she comes across something hidden in Aron's drawer, it dawns on her. The patterns, the habit, small details that do not just sit right. And this is not just a wife suspecting the husband, it's recognition, something that she had prayed she'll never recognize in her life again. And like she had promised herself, she saw she's going to stop the husband by all means. You see, as much as they portrayed a picture-perfect marriage to the outside world, they lived a very different life. They stuck to a specific routine. There are things she was not allowed to touch in her own home. And she was okay with it for a while. But when she saw this thing, she decided to change. And that is when everything changes. She came up with a perfect plan. Or so she thought. Because not long after that, guess what happened? Aron disappears. And everyone is worried. And so is Lila, but for something totally different. She's asking something very different, like, what actually happened? What did she miss? She had the perfect plan, but someone had figured it out. And here is where it gets even more interesting. Because Aron was not just a mystery man on his own. There's also his brother, a mysterious man who seemed to have his life together. The only thing missing was the fact that he never seemed to find the perfect partner. He never seemed to be the type to settle down. But my oh my, if only that was his only problem. And the Payne brothers, the past they share was not normal. They did not grow up in a loving home. What they went through as children left marks. The kind of marks that do not just disappear when you grow up. The kind that changes you, like alters your whole human biology. Now the question is not just what happened to Aron, it's also what kind of man was he really? What dark side was he hiding? Because according to the society and the image he had portrayed out there, he was the perfect man. He was a teacher, a coach, a man society loved and valued. And Lila, she was an introvert. So when people started digging into her life, she panicked, but not in a way that anyone would suspect. But deep down, she was worried. And so she decided to release a side of her to hide another bad side of her. She knew that sooner or later people would recognize that she had changed her name, so she gave that information willingly. But all this was part of a grand scheme. She wanted to continue her life normally, but she knew that would be hard. So she decided to cooperate. But she also had her own mission. And spoiler alert, she completed the mission. She was not just waiting around for answers. She was calculating. She's always watching. She's not just a pretty little wife. She's already 10 steps ahead. And no one knows of her plan. Or at least that's what she thinks. You see, the deeper you get into this story, the more uncomfortable it gets. You start questioning everyone. Lila, Aron, even if he's missing, Gerald, the detective, the neighbors. Even the pets became suspicious at some point. Now, if you've not gotten it yet, or you've not come across it yet, the book is Pretty Little Wife by DabbyKane. I will not lie, this book had me hooked, because just when you think you understand what is going on, something shifts and you realize you do not know the full story at all. And by the time you reach the end, you are left with one very unsettling thought. Was Aron the only monster in this story? And just how far can you push someone before they reach the breaking point? And what is the definition of a breaking point? Now, if you love thriller that are dark, layered, and just a little tiny bit disturbing, this one will have you thinking about it long after you finish. This is one of those books that I called and put down a book, because it really was. That is the end of my review, darlings. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you'd like a more detailed review, if this review has convinced you to read the book or not. If you've read the book, please let me know in the comments what you think, what you missed, and what you'd like to hear from me next. Goodbye, diary darlings. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on to the next video. Until then, goodbye and stay fabulous.